management, or advertisers of this station.
And good morning. Happy Saturday, WURD family. Hope everyone is doing well. You're tuned into the Education Pulse, coming to you every other Saturday with Dr. Height, right here on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM, streaming live on wordradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. Just a reminder, we do not take calls during the show due to the amount of information being covered today, and also all the guests that are coming on as well. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Dr. Height into the show. Dr. Height, how you doing?
I'm good, Jordan. How are you this morning?
Yeah, pretty good. No complaints.
Fantastic, and thank you. And welcome to another episode of Education Pulse. This is our opportunity to talk about things that are happening in the school district. And just like our last several shows, we're continuing to highlight our graduating class of seniors. And so later in this show, you're going to hear from some wonderful young people from two of our high schools. You can also hear from their principals and the work that those schools are doing to provide support for those young people and the young people's plans for the future once they graduate. And as a reminder, all graduations in Philadelphia are going to be in person this year, thank goodness, and they begin on Monday. So we are well into graduation season and want to congratulate all of the class of 2021. But before we jump into the show, I do have a couple of announcements pertinent to the School District of Philadelphia, and just want to make sure I have an opportunity to share those announcements with you this morning. First and foremost, the school district continues to seek input on ways to provide students with a fair and equitable opportunity to attend the school that best matches their interests. And then we're asking individuals to complete a 10-minute selection survey. It's called the school selection process. So naturally, it is a school selection survey. And we want individuals to share their ideas to improve the school selection process. And more importantly, the criteria that schools use with respect to the admission requirements. And many people talk about our special admission schools, and children can attend their neighborhood high school. But here in Philadelphia, once a child reaches a high school age, they can attend any school of their choice. And there are admission criteria that are used for many of those schools. Each fall, students, not just in high school, but pre-kindergarten through 11th grade, and their families who are interested in attending a school other than their neighborhood school are invited to participate in the district's Find Your Fit school selection process. The school selection process allows students to submit applications to schools of their choice, including schools that have admission criteria. Historically, the criteria consisted of information such as grades, attendance records, the PSSAs, which are the state assessments for Pennsylvania. This fall, because of limited standardized testing during the previous school year, PSSAs, or state assessments, will not be used when applying to schools with admissions criteria. So we're asking for our parents and their students to give us information about what else could we use and should we use in terms of admissions criteria. Please feel free to go on and complete a survey. It's about a 10-minute survey. It doesn't take a lot of your time, The survey still remains open and will close next Friday, June 11th. So your feedback will inform our plans, which we will share during the summer, well in advance of the return to school in the fall. And you can find the survey on our website at schoolselection@philasd.org. Additionally, this morning, I wanted to give a quick reminder that kindergarten registration is still open. Please visit our website at philasd.org for more information and to register your child for kindergarten or pre-K. Our last show, I shared some information about summer enrichment programming. With this very challenging and unique school year that we just had or are about to finish, it is important for us to have a robust and enriching academic summer program, where students are not just doing schoolwork, but also other things that excite and engage them. Our programs will be geared towards maintaining and advancing students' academic and social growth, reinforcing skills learned during the school year, preparing all students with skills they're going to need for the next school year, and mitigating the learning loss that generally occurs over the summers when our schools are closed. The summer program will start June 28th and end on July 30th. Will be for students in kindergarten through 12th grade at 14 elementary schools and 11 high schools. All programming will follow health and safety guidance as outlined by the Philadelphia Department of Public Health and the CDC. All students entering in grades K through 12 will receive a backpack with supplies, materials, and books they will need for the summer. Additionally, transportation will be available for eligible students across the city to help get the students to the summer sites. SEPTA passes will also be provided to eligible students in grades 6 through 12. Additional information about transportation will be communicated to families after registration is confirmed. All students participating in district programming will receive breakfast and lunch if attending on site. Students attending digital programming may access meals through the weekly meal distribution. And just I want to remind individuals one more time that our in-person learning for all students in the fall. Our goal for the 2021-2022 school year is to resume 100% in-person learning beginning Wednesday, August 31st. To help us fine-tune our plans, we have asked all individuals who are interested, students, staff, families, to share with us what excites them about returning in full in the fall and what concerns them. And it's another survey. I know we have surveys for everything, but it is a way for us to provide, to get feedback from the individuals who are using our schools and who are returning to our schools and their families. We've also offered virtual focus groups where students, staff, and families were able to share feedback directly using a virtual setting. We've completed 5 virtual sessions, each offered in multiple languages so participants can have direct verbal input in a small group setting. Now, so once we got those, now that we have those announcements out of the way, I want to switch gears and talk about our guest today. As I indicated at the top of the show, we're continuing to celebrate our class of 2021. Congratulations to all our young people who will begin graduating on Monday. And I am excited to welcome today's guests. And today's guests are school leaders and students, first and foremost from Bodine High School and then from Lincoln High School. So our first guests are Michelle Wilson Dawson. She's the principal at Bodine High School, and Janiyah Boston McCray, a senior at Bodine High School, and her twin brother, Jonathan Boston McCray, who's also a senior at Bodine High School. And so, Ms. Wilson, we'll start with you. First and foremost, good morning, Principal Wilson, and welcome to Education Pulse.
Good morning, Dr. Height, and I'm so glad for our Bodine family to be with us, our twins, and I send you greetings from the entire Bodine community.
Fantastic. And so, you know as well as I do, Principal Wilson, nothing about this past school year has been normal. And still, many leaders like yourself have done what seemed impossible. And you have made what's impossible possible for our students. And so tell us briefly how you and the Bodine community have been supporting students, but specifically our seniors, and how have you helped them stay on track?
I would say, Dr. Height, that we've done this through a couple of ways, and our students have also been involved in the process. We focused on our instructional priorities and how our students received instruction this year during the virtual platform. Our students were very instrumental in voicing their opinion and talking about like how school was. Now we're being virtual. And I just want to say that I'm thankful that their voices were heard and we were able to come up with an instructional focus group that was, we had our students, we had our counselors, and we also had our teachers involved in the process. And we were able to balance our asynchronous and synchronous learning with the help of the entire community. So that was one way that we were able to support them. The next way we were able to support them is through student supports, through our RTII process. And one thing that was very different this year is that our students were also involved in supporting other students.
Yeah.
So we had our students, and my twins who are on today will talk about their programs that they were instrumental in starting. Jonathan started a tutoring program, and his sister started a program to mentoring for our young girls in school. So that was a different focus. Like, we did our own supports, but our students thought about their classmates as well. So I thought that was like really, really important. The last way I would say is that we remembered our community in need. During the Martin Luther King Day of Service, Bodine was able to raise funds for Phil Abundance. We also participated in looking at the film Good Trouble, and we talked to college students from around the city of Philadelphia. And I just want to say that our students are special because they not only care about each other, but they care about others. And that's something that is instilled by their parents. And I look forward to seeing the next chapter in their lives as they move on to next year in college. And I'm very proud of them.
So do I. And we're listening to Principal Wilson. She's principal at Bodine High School, and talking about all of the incredible work that she, her staff members, the Bodine community, but more importantly, her students have been doing to provide and support not just each other, but the broader Philadelphia community. So thank you, Principal Wilson, for all that you do on a daily basis at Bodine High School. So now we have the twins, and Jonathan and Janaya. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So who's older?
I am.
All right, all right. So we're going to start with the oldest, and you've earned the honor of valedictorian and salutatorian, respectively. I mean, and I don't know which one is which, so I know you all are going to tell me. And I would like to have both of you speak, and I know both of you are speaking at the graduation, but can you talk a little bit about your journey over this past year, and particularly what it means to receive the honor of valedictorian and salutatorian?
So I'll start. I am the school's, I'm sorry, my voice is breaking up. I am the school's salutatorian this year, and to receive this honor, especially on this difficult journey of being at home virtually and having to log in every day for the past couple of months, was definitely challenging, but I felt that with the support of not only the teachers, but also the students, it like helped me to push myself to want to be better. And one of my goals this year was to succeed. I remember freshman year, I wrote myself a letter, and in it I asked, did we succeed? And reading it, I teared up because I did more than succeeded. I was able to be top of my class during the middle of a pandemic, and I was just so proud of myself because it was a great honor of being top of my class, because I know it's not an easy thing to do.
Yes, thank you for that. And I just want to reemphasize something that I said earlier. So we had Principal Wilson on from Bodine High School. She talked about the tremendous work that her students are doing to support each other and to support the broader community. Now we're talking to one of her students who happens to be the salutatorian, but she's also the oldest of her twin. She's the oldest of twins, and her brother, Jonathan, is the valedictorian. So wait, we have students who are twins, a set of twins who are the valedictorian and salutatorian at Bodine. And so I'm not even sure that, I'm not sure that this has ever happened in Philadelphia before, but I want to congratulate both of you. So, Jonathan, I'd love to hear your perspective on this. If you could talk about your journey as well, and if there is a sibling or twin rivalry here as well, I'd love to hear about that if it exists.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Height. Thank you
Good
for
morning.
this opportunity. So I'm the class valedictorian. I have been participating in my school community since I was a freshman. Anything they needed, I was there and everything. Like even when we had freshman orientation, I was there. Even when it was virtual I was there. So I was always that type of person that always, if the school needed help, I was there. I would stay after school, help teachers out, because I'm like that type of person that has a big heart. And I even was on Miss Dawson's focus group earlier this year when we had came back from break, and I helped, with things, issues that was going on. And I was also a part of that last year before COVID had took many of our lives away of being with each other. And it just means so much to me being valedictorian, because I was the speaker at my 8th grade graduation, and to see that happen again in high school, it really like when I got the news, I started crying. And yesterday when we had got our letters back, I opened up my 10th grade letter and I said that I hope that everybody knows me before I attend college. And, with the news interview and everything else, I was just like, wow, like I kind of spoke this into existence. And, manifesting everything, choosing college was kind of hard this year. It was just a lot, going through so much, without seeing my friends, without having them motivate me, without having them, saying, come on, John, you got to finish strong or stuff like that. And you have to do it by yourself. It is kind of hard. And I'm glad that we have an in-person graduation where we can return and see everybody for a final time. And yes, it is a sibling rivalry. We motivate each other all the time. I'd be like, Janaea, get that assignment done, and then she always tell me, John, did you do this? Did you do that? Like, we always just help each other out, but it is kind of like a little bit of a rivalry there.
I got you. I understand. And so, and as Principal Dawson, she was talking about the work that you both do. I also understand that the two of you are first generation college students. And so can both of you talk about what that means and particularly achieving that together?
To be a first generation college student, it means a lot, especially since my parents weren't able to particularly achieve that. They chose different routes in their lives. And to just be able to make them proud enough to go to college and carry on their legacy means a lot to me, especially since I want to do great things with my life. And I just want them to be able to be there to see that their hard work and all of their sacrifices that they put in over the years has paid off. And to not only go to college as a first generation student, but to go to college as a first generation student on a full ride to Temple is one thing I couldn't have imagined. And I am particularly proud of myself and also my parents for putting in the hard work, for sacrificing a lot for me and my brother.
Fantastic. Congratulations. John?
Yes. So being a first generation college student means changing my family history, changing the trajectory of, of not attending college to be able to attend college and choosing on that route. And I just always wanted to be that type of role model that, if I have children, that they follow after my footsteps. I wouldn't be mad if they don't want to attend college, but, that's the kind of route that I would put on them and try to instill on them to be able to attend college and have that opportunity. And I have to thank my teacher, Mr. Poindexter, who is retired from Bodine, who in 10th grade inspired us, did an HBCU project, and I chose Howard. And I never thought that going down, 2 years later, that I would, be attending Howard University in the fall, and I was very shocked, and I had to give much thanks to him and, just our teachers at Bodine, instilling in us about college and pushing us, and, the rigorous courses that we have is preparing us for college. And I understand that some teachers may nag on us, but they only just want the best out of us. And even the principal, they just want the best out of us. And that's one thing I love about Bodine's community.
Yeah, so we have to go to a break, but after we come back from a break, I want to hear more about like these college choices and what this group of super twins have been doing not only at Bodine, but in their communities as well. So we'll go to a break and then we'll come right back with John and Janae, who are twins, but also are the valedictorian and salutatorian for the graduating class of Bodine High School class of 2021. We'll go to break and come right back.
Temple University, Philadelphia's public university, is committed to meaningful change that resonates throughout our community. We are investing more than $1 million in anti-racism education and programming, including creating a center for anti-racism research, developing a bridge program for high school students in North Philadelphia, and expanding our Department of Africology and African American Studies, which is the first in the country to offer a doctoral program. Our students are the next generation of innovators and leaders championing a better tomorrow. WURD is supported by Temple University, Philadelphia's public university. At Temple, we aim to make college accessible for all. That's why we launched the Cecil B. Moore Scholars Program, a bridge program for high school students in North Philadelphia that offers pre-college support, including tutoring, career exploitation, and the opportunity to take a free course at Temple. It's part of our commitment to cultivate leaders from our city and to support all students in reaching their full potential. Are you a leader in your community, helping children get a good education? Do you work to give kids quality learning opportunities and a strong start in life? The William Penn Foundation's Racial Equity Grant Fund is awarding grants up to $40,000 to small nonprofit organizations that are led by people of color and focused on education in Philadelphia. Apply now through June 25th at williampennfoundation.org. That's williampennfoundation.org. Equitable Advisors Financial Professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals, not dollars and stats. That's how they deliver on their mission. Talk to your local Equitable Advisors Financial Professionals, Ryan Smith and Jacob McCoyo, at 800-879-9016. Together, you can plan for a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, 212-314-4600, member FINRA, SIPC.
96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
And we're back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Education Pulse, hosted by Dr. Height, coming to you every other Saturday right here on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com, Facebook, and YouTube. Just a reminder, we do not take calls on this show. And Dr. Height, back to you.
Thank you. And we are talking to some magnificent guests this morning. And we have with us Principal Michelle Wilson Dawson. She is the principal of Bodine High School. And we have two of her incredible graduating seniors, and John and Janae Boston McCrae. They are both seniors at Bodine High School, and John is the valedictorian and Janae is the salutatorian, and they happen to be twins. And so we were just listening to them and talking about their plans. And Janae has already talked about the fact that she has now a full ride at Temple. But I wanted to ask more about the work that both of you are doing in the broader community. And can you talk a little bit about, I know you're excelling in the classroom, but you're also excelling in your communities, and you both made investments or community investments, and you do community investment work. Can you talk a little bit about what you are doing with respect to that work?
Yes. So I remember when I first came to Bodine, I wanted to be heavily involved, not only within the Bodine community, but also outside the Bodine community. And I remember, I think it was 10th grade year, I found out about a club called National Honor Society, and I made it my mission to not only be on National Honor Society, but to help them make an impact. And this year I wanted to make an even greater impact in not only National Honor Society, but like John said before, we motivate each other all the time. And after he created his tutoring club for freshmen, I figured if John could create a club, why can't I create a club? So I created a club called Pearls to Doves, which is basically helping young young sophomore, freshman girls to not only navigate high school, but to also give them advice about homework or just life in general. And it's basically a safe space for them to talk about their feelings without feeling judged and to just vent after a long day of school and their personal lives. So that's how I felt I would mostly impact my community, especially virtually, since we weren't able to do it in person. And it was also a great way for those freshman and sophomore girls to make friends with each other since they couldn't do it in person.
That is amazing. And you just talked about John's Club. So, John, tell us about what you created.
So, as a freshman, I always wanted to be able to help other people, especially those younger than me, because just having that positive role model come from, if it's not coming from home, then who can be it? And I always wanted to be that person that, tried to be that inspiration for people who may not have that motivation at home. So it was over the summer and I was talking to our counselor, Dr. Gray, and I was just like, I might as well just create a freshman mentoring program. And I understand like the transition between high school and middle school can be very hard, especially virtually. In 2017, when I first started, nothing was virtually. We was not wearing masks. We didn't have no social distance rule. So I was like, it's going to be harder for them. So I said, why not just create a club where I can help mentor them, tutor them, anything that they need. I wanted to be there, and I wanted to be that person that was able to help them because I had that help. I remember conversations when I would stay after school in Miss Mixon room. I would, juniors would talk to me and say, it's going to go by really quickly, and before you know it, you're going to be a senior. And, just having those talks, joining extracurricular activities, debate, track, starting my own club. This is not the first time that I have started a club. I started a Christian club in freshman year, and I'm also the president of the National Honor Society chapter at my school. So just helping the community out, we did a Thanksgiving food drive, and then we did another food drive for Christmas. So like I'm very heavily involved in my community, and I will continue this once I get to college to try to be that voice for others that is underprivileged or can't help themselves. So I would love to continue to keep on that path and never give up.
Yeah, so I'm listening to what you and your twin have been doing through high school, but not just through high school, through your whole entire education experience. And so we're talking to John and Janae Boston McCray, and they are twins who happen to be the valedictorian and salutatorian for the class of 2021 at Bodine High School. And Principal Dawson, you have to be proud of these two young people and what they do. But I also understand that both of you are athletes as well. So in addition to like all of the work that you're doing academically, the work that you're doing with respect to your giving back to other students and your broader community, you're also participating in track. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yes. So I am a cross country and track and field runner. I've been running cross country since I was a sophomore. I had missed my freshman year season, but I started track and field in my freshman year. And I was just like, I'm fast. Why not join the team? And me and my friend Madro Dumia, who is the fastest girl in the city currently, just ran our last race on Wednesday at the Philadelphia Public Leagues. And me and her went 2-0 in both of our heats. We won both of our heats. And just being on track really teaches you a lot about yourself and being on a sport and like having good sportsmanship and just being with everybody. You kind of develop a family. And I said before I left, that was my extended family that I was leaving behind and that I'm going to miss. And being a student athlete is not hard, especially when you're an IB student also and you kind of like miss classes or you're leaving early. But I always had good time management skills. I was always to set away. I was like, okay, if I want to be a student athlete, I need good time management skills to set time away to get my homework done or get an assignment done or, talk to a teacher if I need a little bit more time, because just not waiting until the day of, or just talking to your teacher can get you a lot of places, instead of being disrespectful because, you got your assignment in late and everything else. Just talking to them, and like that helped me develop the character that I am today. And I had to thank my teammates. I had to thank, my coach, Mr. Schrollman, who's my track coach, and Miss Mixon, who is the cross-country coach. I have to thank both of them because they really helped me be a better person this year, especially in my academic career and also as a student athlete.
I love the way you're thanking your coaches and your teachers and your counselors and your principal. I just love it, John. And so, Janae, are you in track as well, or you do a different sport?
Unfortunately, I don't do track because running is really not my thing. But as far as the student athlete go, I did participate on Bodine's basketball team from my sophomore year to my senior year because I figured since I'm so shy, it's a way for me to like make friends and like get to know other people. So basketball really taught me a lot about myself, especially the teamwork aspect of it. And it also taught me responsibility because before, I won't say before basketball, but the responsibility part that told me to hold myself accountable and to a higher standard at certain points, especially when it came to homework and like doing homework assignments at the last minute. So since basketball, I picked up basketball, I figured, so now I can't do assignments late because I also have a game to go to and I don't want to be up until midnight trying to finish an assignment when I have to get up the next morning to go to school and do it all over again. And also I was the manager for the girls softball team my sophomore year, which I really enjoyed because it also taught me about leadership and knowing when to step up and also step back. And I really enjoyed both sports, especially at Bodine. And I'm really going to miss that part of Bodine and just the Bodine community as a whole.
Yeah, incredible what the two of you are doing and being able to accomplish as a part of your experience at Bodine High School. This is John and Janae. They're twins, first and foremost, and they are the valedictorian and salutatorian for the graduating class of 2021 at Bodine High School. We also had earlier on their Principal Michelle Wilson-Dawson, who is the principal of Bodine High School. What are your plans? I'd like each of you to talk about your plans after you leave high school, and then what do you hope to pursue in the future? And Janae, you already previewed some of this, but we'd love for you to talk more about what your plans are after high school.
So as I mentioned earlier, I got a full ride to Temple as a Cecily Moore Scholar from the Cecily Moore Scholars Program, and I can't say enough. I wouldn't have known about this program if it wasn't for my mentor, Miss Ashley Bell at Philadelphia Futures, because she originally introduced me to the program. And I can say that I'm grateful for the program because I also got to take a film class at Temple University, and I will also be taking pre-summer courses at Temple to just basically help me with the transition from a high school student to a college student. And as far as post-graduation goals go, I will be majoring in biology at Temple University, and I hope to become a veterinarian because I've been surrounded by animals my entire life, and I've just grown like a love and passion for animals. And I also love helping people, and I know that animals and people are family. Most people consider their pets family, so I figured I'll be helping animals and people at the same time because they're both family.
Fantastic. John, what about you?
So I plan on, I'm going to Howard University in the fall on half-paid tuition, not just a fully full ride, but I expect to, I'm applying to this program where I can get my bachelor's in 3 years, complete my bachelor's in 3 years, and get my Juris Doctorate, which is my law degree, in 3 years also. Instead of the traditional 7, it will only take me 6 years. And I'm planning on studying political science. I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of Thurgood Marshall, who's been my role model since 6th grade. And I also hope to become president one day. Hopefully.
That's what I'm talking about.
be a politician. If I don't achieve president, hopefully be a senator or a representative to continue to help my community the best way I can and represent them in Congress, just to continue to make laws that benefits my community as a whole. And even if not that, just be a good attorney or a judge that has an impact on people's lives, because I don't know what people are going through on a daily basis. So just having that impact on people's lives is really good, because I interned for a judge my sophomore year, thanks to Bodine High School, for Judge Charles Ehrlich, who works at the Court of Common Pleas. And just seeing him give people an extra chance in life, that has really motivated me to, if I'm an attorney or a judge or a politician, just to know that people deserve second chances in our society. And not just second chances, many more chances, because I understand that we all make mistakes and we're not perfect. So to be able to allow people many more chances in life, that'll give them the opportunity to one day eventually change their lives and to change their minds on the way they think about life. And that's just the impact that I want to be able to leave, my generation and future generations to come past, and to hopefully be in the history books, just like Dr. King and Malcolm X, just to be a positive influence on my community and the world as a whole.
I'll tell you what, Jonathan, you've been a positive influence on me this Saturday morning for the short period of time that I've had you and your sister, Janaea, on. So I also understand that both of you be speaking at graduation, one as valedictorian, one as the salutatorian. Your graduation is on June 10th for Bodine High School, which also happens to be your birthday. So happy birthday to both of you. And as we close out this segment, what advice would you give to the incoming class of 2022?
The biggest advice I would give to the class of 2022 is senior year is about having fun, but also staying focused. I would say start off the year strong, so in the end, you won't have to work as hard to hopefully not pick up grades that should have been already kept up throughout the entire school year. But as a senior, just have fun and just stay motivated. Always look to your teachers for that extra motivation. Look to your friends as extra motivation as well, because they will help you complete assignments even when you don't want to. I remember being on the phone with my friend all the time. We would just sit on the phone, talk, and just complete assignments together, because that's how we work best with each other. And just have fun. As a senior, it's gonna be hard. It's not easy, because you're closing out that chapter in your life, but just work hard in the beginning so the end isn't as rough.
John?
Yes. So the advice that I would give everybody is set yourself apart from everybody else. Distinguish your application the most. If you didn't get a chance for 9th, 10th, and 11th, try to distinguish your application the most best way you can. Join stuff, be on stuff, because that's what colleges look for. It shouldn't be more about standardized tests anymore or anything like that. It should be, how can you contribute to your community? What type of student you are, what type of character you are, because we have to judge ourselves off our character, integrity. We have to judge ourselves off of that. Just taking a standardized test is not going to, it just measures your educational level, but just set yourself apart from everybody else, and take opportunities. If your counselor is having a Google Classroom and putting opportunities on there, or if Dr. Height is having opportunities through emails, just take those opportunities, because you never know who you may meet. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know, because those people will help you get to other places. Because I know you can know somebody, they know somebody, that person knows somebody, and you just have to. And also, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone in 12th grade, because you're about to be an adult, and that's what life is trying new things. If your friends are saying, well, you're not spending too much time with me, or you know what I'm saying, because you have to live for yourself. You can't live for anybody else. And I would just say, start the year off strong, because at the end you just want to be able to relax and not lollygag and do too much. Just start off strong and finish strong. And that's the best way I could tell anybody, is to start strong, have good time management skills if you're a student athlete, or anything else if you work, and stuff like that. So just continue to keep pushing and striving to be the best person you are, because soon you'll turn around just like me and senior year will be ending and you'll just become an adult. So I wish the class of 2022 the best of luck.
And with that, Jonathan and Janaea, thank you so much. These are twins from Bodine High School who are the valedictorian, salutatorian. Jonathan is heading to Howard next year. His twin sister, Janaea, is headed to Temple next year on a full ride. I wish the best to both of you. Congratulations on being selected earning valedictorian and salutatorian, and happy birthday on your graduation on June 10th. Best of luck to both of you. We're going to go to break, and when we come back from break, we'll visit with our next guest, Jack Nelson, principal of Lincoln High School, and one of his colleagues, Paula Miller, the Academy of Science leader at Lincoln High School, and then 3 seniors from Lincoln High School as well. So once again, thanks to Jonathan and Janaea Boston McCray for coming on and talking with us in the first segment. They're magnificent young people from Bodine High School, along with their principal, Michelle Wilson Dawson, principal at Bodine High School. That we'll go to break and come back and hear from individuals from Lincoln High School after the break.
Get in and get seen at the Einstein Orthopedics Fracture Care Clinic. If you think you've broken a bone or have been told by your doctor that you have a fracture, the Einstein Fracture Care Clinic offers same-day, in-person, or telehealth appointments. We don't just give you peace of mind. Einstein Orthopedics provides answers when you need them. Visit einstein.edu/fracturecare to learn more.
Welcome Black. It's time to reawaken, reopen, and renew as WURD kicks off our annual onWURD Early Bird Membership Special. Beginning Monday, June 7th, we have stood together every step of the way during the pandemic. Here at WURD, our hosts and producers, elders, parents, children, teachers, doctors, and community leaders stood up, shared resources, and supported each other through the airwaves, virtual events, and of course, the phone lines. We've stayed connected by every means necessary. Let's welcome the new season, the reopening of the city, and our new normal together. Stand with WURD. Join us Friday, June 11th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our first In the Community broadcast in over a year as we broadcast live from Fresh Grocer, 4160 Monument Road. It's WURD Radio back in the community. Start or renew your sustaining onWURD membership for the special discounted price of $75. Or if you just want to support the work we're doing, there is now an option to become a digital onWURD member for as little as $5 per month. Visit wordradio.com/earlybird between June 7th and June 19th to take advantage of our early bird discounted membership special. Are you looking for a job? WURD has got you covered. We just launched a brand new job portal featuring jobs from some of Philadelphia's leading companies and art organizations. Visit the portal right now to see jobs from WURD Radio, the Kimmel Center, Her Foods, Always Best Care, and more. Apply today. Visit our livelihood website at wordworks.com. That's WURDworks.com and click jobs. You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
And we're back. If you're just tuning in, you're tuned into the Education Pulse. Dr. Height, we're back.
Thanks, Jordan. And our next guests are the principal of Lincoln High School, Jack Nelson, and one of his colleagues, Paula Miller. And Ms. Miller actually runs the Academy of Science out at Lincoln High School. We're also going to have 3 seniors joining from Lincoln High School. We just heard from 2 incredible seniors from Bodine High School who happen to be twins. I'd call them wonder twins. But we're going to also hear from Flossie Brutus, a senior at Lincoln High School, Jen Chen, a senior at Lincoln High School, and Brandy Stewart, a senior at Lincoln High School. So we'll start with Principal Nelson. First and foremost, Jack, thank you for joining us this morning.
Hey, thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you. And so today's show is all about celebrating our seniors while recognizing the work of district staff like yourself who have gone above and beyond to provide a pathway of success for our young people so that they are ready to move on after they graduate from high school. like your commitment to the students at Lincoln is personal for so many reasons. And so can you tell us about that connection that you built?
Well, sir, when you gave me the opportunity years ago, you let me know that I will be dealing with, different things at Lincoln, from the community to the school. And you're interested in me that I can build on that, build a better foundation, build a better culture and environment for our students to achieve. And over the last few years, we have actually done that. We've done it pretty well. Recently, I found out we are the only comprehensive high school in Philadelphia that has a waiting list of over 1,000 students. That's to attest to the hard work like people like Ms. Miller and other academy leaders and leaders of our school, the environment that the children have created, and just spreading the word, just letting everybody know that Lincoln is a great place to be and to achieve. And if you want to go to college, definitely we have several programs that help you get to that task.
Really appreciate that. And wanted to switch gears a little, Principal Nelson, and talk to a couple of your seniors. And understand, Floyce, we couldn't get on the line, but we do have Jing and Brandy. So can you tell us, Jing and Brandy, first of all, good morning to you. Thank you for being on with us on Education Pulse. Can you tell us what has been one of the biggest challenges over the last year and how you were able to overcome, and also talk about what you're most proud of? Either of you can start first.
Okay, hi, good morning. My name is Brandy Stewart. One of the biggest challenges over the year was staying motivated to do school and applying for colleges and stuff like that, and preparing for college on your own, kind of, because everything is really new and we're not able to have that in-person experience. So doing it all by ourselves is one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah, and then, so what are you most proud of then, Brandy?
I'm most proud of doing that on my own and maintaining good grades throughout the school year too.
Excellent, congratulations to you. Jing, what about you? Not sure if we have Jing on the line.
I think she got disconnected.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'll go to Miss Miller. And so Miss Miller, who also works at Lincoln High School and runs the Academy of Science at Lincoln High School. You've worked in the district for 21 years. Can you tell us how you had to pivot, Ms. Miller, to ensure our students were able to stay connected to the scholarships, the college deadlines, and the other post-secondary opportunities that Brandy just referenced? Did Ms. Miller get disconnected as well?
No, I think I have her on right now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
We can hear you, Ms. Miller.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Good morning,
That's okay.
everybody.
Good morning.
Yes, indeed. 21 glorious years in the school district of Philadelphia. And I'm going to address one of those terms that you used in your question, the idea of pivot. I'm a physics teacher, and in order for something to pivot, you need torque, and the torque is our students. We are better preparing our students for work outside the walls of our school. We have thematic-based academies. We have developed multiple external partnerships. Within and across our academies, we are modeling 21st century skills such as collaboration, critical thinking, and communication. We also have a strong team of counselors and additional support staff who work within and across our academies to highlight scholarships and college deadlines. And we also have an ever-present support climate that really are our students' cheerleaders. And to sort of give an analogy, I see our school as an orchestra. We have different parts of the orchestra, and together we make beautiful music. And this music is constantly changing because we at Lincoln are embracing and living the change.
That's fantastic, Ms. Miller, and thank you for your work, and thank you for your work on behalf of the students. And that was a wonderful metaphor that you used in terms of the orchestra and building the torque, and that torque being the students. I understand we have Jing now back on the line. And Jing, can you, if you're on the line, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad you made it back. And can you tell us a little bit about like what was one of the biggest challenges for you over the last year, and how were you able to overcome it? And then also talk about what you're most proud of.
So, like, one of my biggest challenges this year is just staying motivated because, like, as you know, like, we're online. So it's like we don't have, like, teachers in front of us, like, pushing us all the time and, like, being, like, they stay on top of your work. But, like, I'm just so glad, like, all, like, my teachers, like, are, like, constantly helping me, even though, like, we're online. And, like, the counselors are, like, reaching out. And, you know, as I have, like, Miss Miller, and she's always, like, hey, what's up? And, like, how are you doing? Like, do you need help with anything? And I'm just so happy, like, there's such a great support group at Lincoln. And something that I am most proud of this year was being able to go to Boston University. And I'm so happy that I had my counselor there to support me the entire way, because I did things a bit, like, last minute, even though I did do early decisions. But I'm so glad, like, she was right there for me every time I emailed her.
Fantastic. And we're listening to two seniors from Lincoln High School, Jing and Brandy. They are both seniors who are part of the class of 2021. We also have Ms. Miller, a long-time educator in the school district of Philadelphia, and she runs the Academy of Science out at Lincoln, and the principal of Lincoln High School, Jack Nelson. And so both Brandy and Jing, can you talk about how the support, and I've heard some of it already, but how the support from individuals like Principal Nelson, Ms. Miller, have impacted you specifically over the past year?
Being a positive way over the past year, because this whole virtual learning thing is new for all of us, and even though they're still learning and going through the learning process as well, they're trying their best to encourage all the seniors to keep going, and they're always presenting us with opportunities for scholarships and motivating us to stay on top of our future and stuff like that, with applying to colleges and filling out our FAFSA, all that other stuff. That really impacted me in a positive way, because that also motivated me to, you know, get up out of bed, make sure I'm on top of all my work and all that other stuff, so I can get accepted into the colleges that I want to.
Thank you. I think it was Brandy. And Brandy, thank you for getting out of bed and being on the show this morning as well. So, yeah. Jing, what about you?
Yeah, just like Brandy, it's like, if we're virtual, so things are, like, much harder. But I'm so glad, like, Miss Miller and Mr. Nelson are always offering opportunities for me to, like, evolve and, like, make myself better. And I was able to get through, like, many programs. And just in my entire high school career, like, so many opportunities that I was able to get were, like, all stemmed by, like, Miss Miller. And she's like, hey, you should try this. And I'm just so happy that they're always there for me.
Fantastic. And Jing, what are your plans for next year? I think you said it before, but we may have missed it. What do you plan to do after graduation?
So after graduation, I plan to go on to Boston University to study biology.
Fantastic. Congratulations. And what about you, Brandy?
My plan after graduation is to go to Georgia State University to study law and get my bachelor's degree, because I want to become a lawyer and major in criminal justice. And after that, I should be heading to law school to get my Juris Doctor degree.
That's excellent to both of you. And we have just a few minutes left, and I want to thank both Jing and Brandy, both seniors from Lincoln High School. And it is Jing Chen, a senior at Lincoln High School, and Brandy Stewart, also a senior at Lincoln. They're both graduating and off to colleges, one to Frostburg, the other to Georgia State. And we also have Principal Jack Nelson, principal from Lincoln High School, and the incredible Paula Miller, the leader of the Academy of Science out at Lincoln. And so particularly for Jing and Brandy, I want to close this segment by asking you the same thing I asked the young people from Bodine High School. What advice would you give to the incoming class of 2022?
Advice I would give to the incoming class of 2022 is to do what you have to do, get your work done, and stay on top of it because it pays off in the end. When you have colleges practically begging you to be a part of their school just because they see the potential in you and how great you've done academically over the past 2 years. And it's a good feeling. It makes you feel like you did everything right, especially in times where you might have wanted to give up or you feel like you didn't do your best. It's really a good feeling.
Thank you, Brandy. Jing, what about you?
So my advice I would give is just to stay on top of all your due dates. Like, if you finish everything early, you'll be able to, like, relax a bit more and, like, have some fun the rest of your senior year. And also, like, try to keep in touch with, like, everyone you know senior year. So it's, like, because networking is, like, a really good resource for you to get, like, opportunities. And you'll be able to learn a lot through networking, too. And another thing is, like, don't be scared to, like, apply for colleges that you really like. And because I know a lot of seniors who didn't apply to, like, the colleges they really like because they think they couldn't get in. So, like, just go for it. Like, you never know what will happen.
Excellent advice. And so want to thank once again Jing Chen, senior at Lincoln High School, Brandy Stewart, also a senior at Lincoln High School, Paula Miller, who leads the Academy of Science out at Lincoln High School, and Principal Jack Nelson, principal from Lincoln High School. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from some incredible young people here in the school district of Philadelphia, and they're going to be graduating and leaving us, but they are an example of the many young people we have the opportunity to educate on a daily basis. So we are so incredibly proud and want to congratulate all of the individuals who were on the show this morning, but the entire class of 2021. As we close out this segment, I also want to thank the two principals. Once again, Principal Jack Nelson, principal of Lincoln High School, and principal from Bodine High School, Michelle Wilson Dawson. And so want to thank both of them. And so also like to give a special shout out to our in-station engineer, Jordan Booth, and our executive producers, Evelyn Sample Oates and Hania Shop Brown. So with that, we'll conclude this episode of Education Pulse. See you again in 2 weeks.